Welcome to this explainer. Have you ever put on an intense, thumping study playlist to get some serious work done, only to find yourself staring blankly at the exact same sentence 20 minutes later? Yeah, we've all been there. Today, we're figuring out how to optimize our background sound for specific tasks, and we're going to learn exactly how to pair our cognitive workload with its perfect audio match. Okay, let's dive into this. We all have that go-to ASMR track, right? Or maybe that massive, 4-hour lo-fi beats playlist. But here is the big question. Is it actually helping you, or is it secretly sabotaging your focus? There's this huge myth out there that one generic background track works for an entire study session. We just kind of assume if a sound is relaxing, well, it must be good for focus, right? Science actually says otherwise. Here is the foundational truth of our entire explainer. Not all studying is the same, so your study ASMR shouldn't be the same either. Reading a dense biology textbook, solving complex algebra, and brainstorming a design, they all use completely different mental systems. So using the wrong audio might feel calming, but it could literally be quietly slowing down your brain's performance. So here's our roadmap for today. We'll start with the study sound myth, then move into the science of sound. Then we'll cover reading and writing, math and memorization, creative work and review, and finally the golden rule. All right, let's kick things off with section 1, the study sound myth. The myth is seriously everywhere. Just find a focused sound and hit play. But the reality is that different cognitive tasks actively compete with different types of audio. Think about it. If you're trying to process language while reading a textbook, but you're also listening to someone talking in a podcast, those two things are going to clash big time. If a sound pulls your attention away from the specific mental system you need, it's absolutely the wrong sound. Moving right along to section 2, the science of sound. This brings us to a really crucial concept, working memory. Your working memory is the mental system used to hold and process information in real time. It's almost like your brain's temporary scratchpad. And research into working memory explains exactly why speech and lyrics interfere so much with verbal tasks. Your brain simply has a limited capacity for processing language at any given second. If you try to read a textbook while also listening to someone whispering in an ASMR video, you're basically forcing your brain to process two streams of language at once. It creates a massive cognitive traffic jam. But sound, when you use it correctly, is incredibly powerful. A 2018 study by Porio and colleagues actually showed that ASMR can reduce stress and lower the heart rate in sensitive viewers. So it really does have a true calm state mechanism. Proper background sound also completely masks those unpredictable environmental interruptions, like a dog barking outside or a roommate talking loudly on the phone. The goal here is to use ASMR as a complementary wellness tool. We want it to lower stress and mask the environment, but crucially, we need to ensure it avoids competition with the specific mental systems we are currently relying on. Okay, let's get into the specifics. Section 3, reading and writing. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how clearly the line is drawn on language here. Because reading and writing are intensely verbal tasks, you absolutely must avoid any extra language. If you're composing an essay, do not add another voice to the room. That means skipping the whispers, the role plays, the lyrics, or any spoken words. Instead, opt for silence, the deep rumble of brown noise, rain, or soft keyboard ambience. You get that amazing calming effect without all the cognitive competition. Next up, section 4, math and memorization. Look at how adaptable we need to be here. For math and problem solving, the brain can actually tolerate more rhythmic sound textures. Think soft tapping or low instrumental music, because math is just way less verbal. But for memorization, it's a totally different story. Active recall requires massive mental effort, meaning you need absolute silence during the heavy lifting. Now, you can totally use your ASMR before the session to calm your nervous system down and after as a recovery break, but never ever during the hardest recall. Let's transition to section 5, creative work and review. Let's move to and see how this builds, because creative work is actually a two-step process, and your audio really needs to reflect that. During ideation and brainstorming, gentle ambience and light music can stimulate lateral thinking and help loosen the mind. You kind of want a bit of stimulation there. But once you transition into editing, like cutting and organizing those ideas, the cognitive load shifts to analytical, and you have to simplify your sound to focus purely on refinement. Finally, what about lighter tasks like reviewing or organizing notes? Or maybe color coding a planner? Well, these have a much lower cognitive load. Because they aren't as taxing, you can safely use more present ASMR. Page-turning sounds. Typing noises or study with me ambiance are absolutely fantastic here for creating a highly productive, comforting rhythm without overloading your working memory. And that brings us to section 6, the golden rule. So, the crucial point is, if you remember nothing else from this explainer, remember this. The harder the task, the simpler the sound. Never choose your audio based on aesthetics alone. Don't just pick something because it sounds pretty. If your brain is working at maximum capacity doing the absolute hardest task of your day, you have to strip the sound back to absolute basics or even total silence. I want to challenge you to test this science-backed approach yourself today. Here is your experiment. Step 1. Pick one specific task and match it with one sound pairing we just discussed. Step 2. Work for exactly 20 minutes. No distractions. Step 3. Evaluate and be honest with yourself. Did you produce more? Did you make fewer careless mistakes? Did you feel less tense? If you can answer yes to those 3 evaluation questions, keep that sound pairing. It is a winner. If not, change the sound immediately. And that brings us to our final thought. Does your ASMR actually fit the job your brain is doing? Background audio is incredibly powerful, but please don't let a relaxing sound quietly steal your focus. Take control of your audio environment, apply this pairing guide, and see just how much your focus improves. Thanks for joining me for this explainer, and good luck optimizing your very next study session.